So right now I'm behind the wheel of a brand new BMW 330i, which is basically, along with the 320i, the entry-level base 3 Series. I want to take a few moments to go through the really high-quality technology that you get in this base model. So first off, you can kind of see heads-up display. You have a couple modes that you can go through to give you a different type of display. It's hard to pick up on the camera, but you can kind of see it there, and there is the screen that it reflects through on the dash. This 330i, while being a base model, in my opinion, it also comes with the live Cockpit Pro from BMW. So what this is a full-on digital display. So along with the digital display, there's also this live tracking little camera sensor type device in the middle of the digital display, and that kind of can track your driver movements to ensure that you're driving and keeping eyes on the road, is from what I gather. But back on the display, you have the nice digital speedometer. This is all full one screen, but I'm basically breaking it up in segments. On the left, you have the nice speedometer. When you're climbing through the miles per hour, when you hit one of these, what I would call mini milestones, like 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, let's pretend you're going 40 miles an hour. You get the little needle that rises, but it also kind of bloats up the number. So like the 40 would be a little bloated at the moment, and you also get the digital number in the middle of the left side. You have the gas on the left, the miles on the actual digital number lower, time. In the middle, you get like a few street view of like a navigation type screen. On the right, you get your normal tachometer, and in the middle of the also on the far right, you get the temperature gauge. But in the middle of the right, if you push BMW's BC button on the stalk, which is the board computer button, you can cycle through different options. So right now I have it on my favorite option, which showcases the torque and horsepower as a like a bar graph. You push it. I'm not listening to that song, I promise. I just leave it on Pop 2K, but you get the song that's currently on the radio on whatever station you're listening to. The gear, like a screen that shows you what gear you're in. Right now I'm in park. It also shows you what mode you're in. I'll touch on the modes in a second. Miles per gallon. This is a trip screen, but also is the only spot that I could find that showcases the actual mileage of the vehicle. A G-force meter. And back to the bars. So another thing I spoke about, showing that it's in sport mode. Let me back it up a little. So there are different modes with this 330i. You have Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and Adaptive, which is kind of a mix and based on your driving habits. So I'm gonna cycle through the driver modes because they changed this full digital display. It gives it this, I wouldn't say drastic, but one of them is quite drastic. So this is Sport, kind of race red mode. Comfort changes it. Eco Pro, in my opinion, completely changes it, because for Sport and Comfort, they're both on miles per hour on the left, the tach on the right. But for Eco Pro, it cares about miles per hour on the left, but then it changes it to miles per gallon on the right, because it's more of an efficient driving mode. And then Adaptive kind of brings it back to the screen you would see for the Sport and Comfort, and just kind of based on your driving. Now another cool, like I mentioned, I like the torque and the horsepower curve, but also with the G-force chart, or a little grid, you also see these options on your iDrive screen. So if I go to driving information, you have these nice sport displays. Shows the boost of the turbo, temperature, the G-force diagram, I guess, in the middle, and the two bars for torque and horsepower on the far right. Just going back, there's a lot of you know, normal information that you've probably seen in BMWs. But this is, you know, it's really good to see this type of stuff trickling into the, you know, what I would refer to as a base model. Now, it's kind of hard to talk about base models when the car is north of 40 grand, and this one does have options checked. You do have to check the box for this nice live cockpit Pro display, but seeing this in base model cars at the moment, it's just something that consumers will really enjoy. Just give you some more shots of the interior of this car, because for being a base model, it really, you know, packs a punch. You get a navigation, map screen, let's go home, media, shows you your media screen, obviously, whatever songs you want, normal communications modes, your contacts, things like that. Nav screen I've already shown. So the car, you know, your vehicle status, things everybody needs to know, change, you know, oil level, digital, things like that. But I'm just really, you know, excited about that. A base model no longer means cheap or crap. I grew up in the time where a base model, like many, a base model meant you had manual windows and other like creature comforts were gone, and you just have a base model car. And, you know, this is, you know, a base model in my opinion, because above this and above the 320i is the M340i, and then of course above that is the M3 range. So while this is base model, you really get some great technology. So I hope you like this. I just wanted to showcase, you know, some of my opinions on the interior and the quality of the technology that you get in this beast. If you like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you can. Thanks. Bye.